In Europe, Russia has expressed outrage over the peace plan floated by Donald Trump's team to end the war in Ukraine. Speaking at a press conference, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov rejected the proposal, saying Moscow is not happy with Trump's intention to keep the door open for Ukraine to join NATO.
Judging from numerous leaks and Donald Trump's interview with Time magazine on December 12th, their idea is to suspend hostilities along the line of contact and transfer responsibility for confrontation with Russia to the Europeans. We are not happy, of course, with the proposals made by members of the Trump team to postpone Ukraine's admission to NATO for 20 years and to station British and European peacekeeping forces in Ukraine.
Moscow's criticism came days after Trump gave an interview to Time magazine. During the interview, Donald Trump did not elaborate on his official peace plan, but slammed Ukraine for using American missiles in Russian territory. He said vehemently that he disagrees with sending missiles hundreds of miles into Russia, and he also added that doing so would only escalate the war and make it worse. Trump also said Ukraine should not have been allowed to use American missiles in Russia. However, the incoming commander-in-chief did say that he would not abandon Ukraine and would reach a quick solution to the ongoing war with this undisclosed plan. He even went so far as to call President Joe Biden's decision, quote-unquote, foolish for allowing Ukraine to shoot missiles deep inside Russia. Meanwhile, reports have emerged saying Donald Trump is considering stationing European troops in Ukraine while delaying its membership in NATO.
What's your position and the way to go about eliminating and stopping some of these wars? How do you go about doing that when the emotions are so high?
We have a powder keg. Globally speaking, and we could easily end up in a world war, and we are being pushed in that direction for reasons that I think none of us in the public know. So
none of us know.
I don't really understand the war in Ukraine. Let me say that. We seem to be acting in a belligerent way to our Cold War nuclear-tipped enemy, and it does not appear to be what rational adults would be doing in this situation if they wanted to avoid a hot war and worse, possibly a nuclear exchange.
Starting with a breaking news alert, health officials have just reported the first person has died of the bird flu here in the U.S. Alicia Wimberly is at the WKRN.com alert desk with the details. Alicia.
Yeah, Kendall, health officials in Louisiana just making that announcement. They say the patient was over the age of 65 and had underlying medical conditions. Doctors say the person caught the flu from a flock of wild birds. The U.S. has been facing an outbreak of the bird flu since April, when the first human case was reported. Now, the bird flu has also caused egg prices to soar as it has spread through chickens nationwide. For breaking news around the clock, go to WKRN.com.
Last week, we told you about a new virus outbreak in China. Over the weekend, more reports have come in. The virus has spread beyond China. It is not a new disease. It is not a new virus. Yet the world is nervous because it feels like déjà vu. This is exactly how it played out 5 years back. We were all putting on our masks. Experts and celebrities were teaching us how to wash our hands properly. Social distancing was a life-saving strategy, because a virus from Wuhan in China had spread across the globe and led to total shutdown. And now, China is dealing with another virus outbreak. It is called HMPV, the human metapneumovirus. It's not as dangerous as the Wuhan virus, but experts are recommending the very same precautions as more cases are being reported from other parts of Asia, including Malaysia, Hong Kong, and even India. We don't have the latest numbers from other places, but we can tell you that India has 3 confirmed cases. All 3 are infants. 2 cases were detected in Bengaluru, which is India's IT hub. The third was found in Ahmedabad, the capital of the western state of Gujarat. It is not clear how these children got sick. None of them has a flying history. These children have not traveled anywhere, and yet they tested positive. How did that happen? Because, like I said, HMPV is not a new virus. It has been around for decades. The first case was officially reported in the year 2001 in the Netherlands. That's where HMPV was first identified. And since then, scientists have seen a pattern. They say an HMPV outbreak is quite common during winter. It's quite similar to the flu. In fact, the symptoms are almost the same. Patients with HMPV experience cold-like symptoms like a runny nose or a cough and a sore throat. They could even develop a fever in extreme cases. The fact is, most children get HMPV before they turn 5. That is what doctors say. It is that common. Then why is this year's outbreak raising an alarm? Because of the scale, also because it's happening in China, which is infamous for hiding more than it shares. So the world is worried if there's more to the story. Also, like I said, the caseload in China is pretty high. We've shown you these pictures before. These are from Chinese hospitals. They appear packed. Patients are waiting for treatment in masks. Some are walking around with IV lines. These are believed to be HMPV patients. I must repeat, we've not been able to confirm this independently, but these videos are strikingly similar to what we saw during the pandemic.
A magnitude 7.1 earthquake has hit Tibet. Chinese state media says more than 30 people have been killed. It took place in the region of Shigatse, which is near the border with Nepal. Many buildings have also collapsed. Powerful tremors were also felt in the Nepalese capital, Kathmandu. Well, Al Jazeera's Katrina Yu joins us live now from Beijing. Katrina, so this seems to be a pretty powerful earthquake. What more details have you been hearing from officials there?
That's right. We know that this earthquake struck just after 9:05 a.m. local time. It hit the region of Shigatse, which is a very sacred area when it comes to Buddhism. The epicenter of this powerful earthquake was the county of Jingre, which is home to 6 villages, and 62,000 people live there, would have been affected by this. Now, we've seen some initial pictures coming out of the affected areas, lots of crumbled buildings, shop fronts, homes. These are very remote villages and mountainous areas, difficult to access, and that difficulty will be increased by the fact that it's winter now, very cold, and not very close to any major city as well. So far, the numbers that we've received from the authorities are 36 dead and 68 people injured. We are unfortunately watching that number and expecting that to climb. We do know that this area is no stranger, unfortunately, to earthquakes. In the past 5 years, it's been hit by 29 earthquakes, magnitude 3 and above, but locals say that this was the most powerful that they've had in the last 5 years, and it was even felt in neighboring Nepal.